So in this next lesson, what you're going to do is you're going to have a look at a piece of writing, and we're going to respond to this piece of writing by thinking carefully about the characters and recording some notes that provides us with evidence about what the characters are like within the story. So for this task, we're going to use the inference wheel, responding, which means we're responding to a piece of text, and we're using this inference wheel to record our ideas, and the piece of writing. This is just the example that we're working through, and you'll be applying this to the Bridge to Terabithia at some other stage. So I just want to explain to you the procedure first of all. So in order to do this task, you need to first of all read to view. That means you need to read the text. Before you do anything with any piece of writing, you actually need to read it to check your understanding of the text first of all. Then you go back through and you read to analyze. That's when we will start to record our ideas within the inference wheel. And then, of course, you go back and you read the text again to check, read to understand and review. So we're just checking our work, reviewing to see that what we've got written down makes sense, and just seeing if we've actually missed something. Now, obviously, when the text gets a little bit longer, that process does take quite some time, but we're just going to start by applying this to maybe 1 or 2 pages within the Bridge to Terabithia. I would not encourage you to be reading a chapter 3 times. That's quite unkind. But let me use this as an example. So I'm going to read the text, which is just over here. And this is from the Tomorrow Girls series called Behind the Gate. So I'm going to first of all read to view. Read just for my first viewing. Okay, this is weird. I mean, it's not like we didn't know it was coming. But now that the moment has finally arrived, I'm not sure I like it. Of course, I'm excited, but I'm also really scared to be leaving home for such a long time. We don't even know how long it'll be. Out here in the sprawling underground parking lots of what was once the Randhurst Mall, a mass of girls and boys mill around near our parents. We're all under 15, of course. After freshman year, you go to work, usually for the war effort. We're waiting for further instructions to be announced over the speakers, announced on the walls. It's been almost 20 minutes since the last announcement, telling us to wait to be directed to the correct bus. Shifting anxiously from foot to foot, I knit my shoulder-length blonde hair into a single braid to keep the heat off my neck. It's the 3rd week in August, and it's hot, hot, hot. I never understand why school starts when it's still summer, and the heat makes it impossible to even think. "Where's Madeline?" Dad asks. Glancing around the lot, I find Maddie, my best friend in the world, sitting with her long, slender legs crossed on the concrete floor. I can tell how she's feeling just by looking at her. Right now she's definitely freaking out. Maddie's back is against a cement support column, and her brown hair is pulled back into a headband and bundled up into the sky, into the high, messy knot she has known for the last year when we were in the 7th grade. Lots of girls started wearing it the same way and calling it the Maddie Fry Frizzle Bun. It makes her look prim and wild, all at the same time. Maddie's eyes are cutting in every direction, hyper alert. "She's right there," I tell my dad. So my task now is to read to analyze, and I've just very quickly skimmed through this text to read to analyze, and I've decided that I'm actually going to have a look at the character Madeline. So if you have a look here, Madeline was referred to in the very last part of the story, and our task is to decide what are the words or the phrases that are related to this character, And after thinking about those the description of the character, or the phrases that are referred specifically to that character, we have to think, well, what do those actions, or what do the descriptions imply about the character? So this is where we have to start thinking about our reading. So looking here, I've highlighted, I find Maddie, my best friend in the world. Slender, legs crossed on the concrete floor. She's definitely freaking out. Back against a cement support column. These are the things that describe Madeline. Lots of girls started wearing it. They're talking about the bun the same way and calling it the Maddie Fry Frizzle bun. And her eyes are cutting in every direction, hyper alert. So if we put in here, we've got this, we are just going to transfer the information that's included over in here straight into this inference wheel, which is where we're deciding, okay, so what does this description tell us? So Maddie, my best friend in the world, this tells us about the character. It tells us about the relationships that she has. So we can say, this doesn't actually refer to the person's name, and we have to just go straight from the text that has been given to us. So we've got Maddie, my best friend. So this is the evidence in the whole world. So that tells us something, okay? So it means that she has a best friend, and if you were to continue reading the remainder of this text, you would be able to indicate who that best friend is. Okay, so then it says slender legs crossed on the concrete floor. Slender legs. This is a description of what she looks like. We've also, this helps us to picture. So what do you infer from this? Well, this lets us see what she looks like. This helps us to understand what she looks like. I can add some more information that is in there. It mentioned that she had long blonde hair. Oh, no, her brown hair is pulled back. Okay, she also has brown hair. And so if you were to keep going through this, you would find more information that belongs to that section. So here we're trying to understand characters, and we're looking for evidence within the text that helps us to understand these characters. I'm going to keep going. Lots of girls started wearing it the same way and calling it the Maddie Fry Frizzle bun. Now, if other people are wearing the same, if they're putting their hair up in the same way, it may mean we can say that Maddie may be popular. Okay, and we don't have to necessarily say right over in here the exact words that were put in there that told us that, but we can just say something about the Fry Frizzle bun. Worn by others. And then, of course, we've got here, Maddie's eyes are cutting in every direction, hyper alert. So if we put in here, eyes cutting, notice I'm not using any capital letters because these are actually not sentences we're putting over here. These are our notes. Eyes cutting in every direction. It's not a full sentence because I should have had the word her in front of it. Okay, this is quite messy. In every direction, hyper alert. If you had this expanded, you would be able to write in this a little bit clearer. And so within this middle section, we're talking about the character, who is Maddie. In the core, the middle part, is where you are identifying what is the evidence of what are the clues that tell us about the character. And the outside part is, okay, looking at those clues, what does it tell us about the character? So just if we put in here, eyes cutting in every direction, that means that someone is looking frantically in every direction. It means that she might be scared or worried. Remember, this is your interpretation of what has been presented to you, and I can't quite put a W in there. But this here is, and now what we need to do is the final thing is read to understand and review. So let's have a look at our inference wheel. We've got Maddie has got slender legs, and she has brown hair, and this helps us to see what she looks like. Okay, so we know that she's the fry frizzle bun worn by others, so they copied her. That means that she's popular. We've got Maddie's my best friend in the whole world. That tells us who her best friend is, and if that person's name was in there, we would be able to put the person's name. Best friend is such and such. And then eyes cutting in every direction, hyper alert. That tells us that she must be scared or worried. I'm going to reread that passage just to check and see that I'm on the right track and that I agree with the information that I've put in there, because sometimes when you look at it in chunks, you may somehow misinterpret that information. So I'm going to read the last paragraph. Glancing around the lot, I find Maddie, my best friend in the world, sitting with her long, slender legs crossed on the concrete floor. I can tell how she's feeling just by looking at her. Right now, she's definitely freaking out. Maddie's back is against the cement support column, and her brown hair is pulled back into a headband and bundled up into the high, messy knot she was known for last year when we were in 7th grade. Lots of girls started wearing it the same way and calling it the Maddie Fry frizzle bun. It makes her look prim and wild, all at the same time. Maddie's eyes are cutting in every direction, hyper alert. So she's right there, I tell my dad. So I noticed as I was reading, there's something in there that I actually missed out. She's definitely freaking out, and that helps me to double check or just review or check what I had already put in there, that if her eyes were cutting in every which direction, that confirms what I had already put down as my inference or my thought or interpretation about what that character is like. So your task involves using this inference wheel to interpret characters within stories, and we'll be using the similar wheel to actually develop our stories later on as well.